So let us take a look at today's program that we have planned out for you, especially reflected on the screen. That's right. We're going to kickstart with building real-world metaverse with Niantic Lightship by Niantic, of course, and creating virtual platforms for immersive tourism by Revas Motion. Next, at 2:45 to 3:05, we will be bringing you art and experiences to life by Mesh Minds, followed by sharing by IMDA Pixel by IMDA, of course. All right, I'm sure you are really excited in today's sharing. So first up, let us welcome Junji Shirashi, Senior Manager of Strategic Partnership of Niantic, to share about building real-world metaverse. Junji joined Niantic in 2018 and serves as the Senior Manager of Strategic Partnership at Niantic, leading the brand and developer relationships in Japan and APAC. Junji is also a member of Niantic Ventures working group that is looking to invest in the leading AR startups of tomorrow. Hello, Junji. Hi, we can see you.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So without further ado, let us now hand over the time to Junji, please.
All right, let me put it up my screen here. I had some trouble to showing my screen, so I just want to make sure with MC, like, do you see my screen pretty well?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, let's start over. So hello, everybody. Again, my name is Junji. So I'm gonna talk about building the world metaverse with Niantic Lightship, and I'm very happy to be here. And thanks to IMDA, I think this is actually the very, very first time for the Niantic to have some presentation about our technology in the Singapore event. So again, my name is Junji. I'm based in Tokyo as Niantic APAC team. I'm looking over the partnership, especially for the AR and some IP management stuff. So everybody knows, I hope everybody knows about the Niantic, and our mission is all about inspiring people to explore the world together. And we are the Pokemon Go creator, which is probably everybody knows about it. So, but besides Pokemon Go, we also have another game title, such as Ingress and the Pikmin Bloom. Ingress has been in the market for nearly 10 years. We're gonna have a 10th anniversary this year. And the Pikmin Bloom is it's released last year, and so it's been just less than a year, but it's growing, especially in Japan and North America, and it's growing rest of the country now too. So this is about the game title, but today we're gonna talk about a little bit more behind the game title. Oh, before we go and jump on the main topic, I just want to highlight some of the stuff about the partners, which is one of the uniqueness of our game title. And we work with lots of the partner in game, outside the game, and such as STB in Singapore. So we partnered STB, Singapore Tourism Board, back in 2020, in which we set up a Pokestop and the gyms in the Pokemon Go at tourism establishments and the lifestyle offering in Singapore, such as hotel, attractions, and many other attractive locations, so that Pokemon Go players can enjoy going out to explore the beautiful places in Singapore while catching the Pokemon. So Singapore is actually one of the very active player community, and we had a big Pokemon Go event a couple of years ago, and hope to have another one sometime soon so that I can visit there soon. So it's all about the real world. Our game title, one of the uniqueness of our game title is the locations. We have a gamification elements over the real places, so it is connecting virtual to real. We host live events around the world. And due to the COVID for the last 2 years, we kind of, we couldn't make a very big events, but now we just had one in Seattle in Germany and in Japan last month. So we host the live events to encourage people to as players in the real life, in the real places. And this is actually the same concept for what we're going to talk about, the technology, the AR technology. We name like a real world metaverse. You hear a lot about the metaverse these days, and whatever it means to you, we believe the technology or world should be something to thrive as human beings, build a better world, and help people live richer and more fulfilling lives. We are calling this the Niantic Real World Metaverse, and it's based on the idea that technology can draw the people into the world, not isolate them from it. So Real World Metaverse, real in sense that this is real technology that you can get your hands on how now to start building the future today. And the world, in sense that all the technology that Niantic is aiming at, designed to be better connect us with the real world around us, all the people, places, and the things that we want to take in and enjoy. So today I'd like to cover a couple of technology we offering since the last year to make a real world metaverse together. So Lightsip LDK, ACE4, BPS, and the Scanibus. And I'm not gonna jump into detail, but just try to introduce very briefly for each technology. The first, Lightsip. We released Lightsip LDK about 10 months ago, back in November 2021, which is our first ever developer toolkit to enable developers and the creators to build AR apps. From the first days of Niantic, our goal has been to create augmented reality experience that can be enjoyed by millions of people around the world, and the platform which can power them, and the platform which third-party developer can also join in. So ARDK is developer toolkit built based on our experience and the technology we improved through the games such as Pokemon Go and Ingress. So Lightsip ARDK is free to download and use. If you are familiar with Unity, you can take the benefit to create AR apps very quickly and easily. And here are, to give you a sense of what's possible with ARDK here the core technology, core features of the ARDK. So real-time mapping, shared AR, semantic segmentation, BPS. And I'm not going to cover the detail today, except the BPS, which I talk a bit later. But the ARDK is not just showing the virtual object over the smartphone's cameras, but it can understand the real world elements so that you can create immersive experience that your user can enjoy and share with other players. And not just the tools and the technology, we also have a lot of the resource for you on our website, lightsip.dev, where you can find the templates and the guides. You can leverage it to create AR experience very easy with less coding. And here, a couple examples I just want to highlight today. And back in a couple months ago, we had a very early creative developers using the ARDK create very immersive AR experience. The one on your left, I think it's about the Coachella. Coachella is a music and the art festival in the US. So in April, with the return of the Coachella for the first time since 2019 due to the COVID, the developer named Trigger Interactive World, they were able to infuse some AR magic using understanding the features. So it's exciting to see these first pioneering apps, and we know this is just a beginning. And on the right, it's from a Shueisha. Shueisha is a famous big manga publisher in Japan, and I guess everybody knows about the One Piece, which is I think one of the big title in the manga. So it's coming from a comic, but they're making the comic IP characters to the real life with the AR technology. So they are working very, very heavily, hardly to provide the AR experience with the IPs that has been just in the anime and the comic before. And another technology I want to introduce today is ACE4. ACE4 became S4 joined Niantic back in March this year, and it has been in the market for a long time. So S4 is to bring powerful AR technology to the web frameworks that millions of developers around the world are already familiar with. So faster and far easier to integrate with, such as shopping, travel, entertainment, advertising, and much more. So this gives us an opportunity to bring a sense of the space and the place back to the web. And I have some tech movie, like how the developer using the S4 to create a web AR experiences. And let's take a walk. Okay. And not just, like showing the cases in the video. I also have some prepare some the live demos here. Like if you have a smartphone with you right now, and if you turn on your camera and scan the QR code here, you can just experience the same demo experience I'm showing on the screen right now. It's very easy, so you don't need to install the apps. You just click the QR code, or you can just using the image target, just prepare the pre-existing image to make the AR start very quickly. So this is why like a lot of the brands and the retail labs using this technology, because it's very, very easy and good for the campaign using. And the third technology I want to introduce today is, it's called BPS. So it might be some of the people know about the BPS if you're in the XR domain, but it's called like a visual positioning system. And this is, I can tell you how excited we are to be putting our Lightship BPS in the hands. It just came out last May, and we are improving or increasing the BPS locations all over the world. So let me quickly explain like what BPS is. I suppose everybody familiar with GPS. GPS has been there in the market, like people using the GPS on locating yourself on the map and navigating yourself to another destination. So BPS is something like supplementing the GPS technology, but it has more like accurate and very precise. And this is what AR technology exactly needed for years and years. So how we made BPS ready for the world? So there's so many process behind the technology. So we have a lot of the players in the Ingress and the Pokemon Go visiting the Pokestop and the gyms, and they actually scan the places. The data comes to us, and use 1,000 millions of data to, we call like a map building, to make the BPS ready. And once it's ready, then developer in the Lightship and the S4 can leverage the BPS as the locations to localize yourself also, or you can place your virtual object against certain object in your neighborhood. So here is another example of the movie. Sorry. Let me go back. So we launched BPS again like back in May, end of the May, and starting with 6 big cities in the world: San Francisco, Seattle, Los Angeles, New York, London, and Tokyo. But we committed to expand the city up to 100 city by end of this year. And I'm happy to share today, like we also have a BPS points, we call like a BPS wait spots in Singapore too. And it's going to increase more and to the new city, new locations. So the developer in everywhere can leverage the BPS technology in Lightship and the ACE4. So this is another movie just showing, this is still like a closed beta, but which is coming public very soon. So BPS is not just for the Lightship Unity-based AR apps, but it also coming out for the ACE4. So web AR developer can use exactly the same BPS experience with same as Unity. So ACE4 web AR has been more like detail promoting technology, but now like with BPS, you can add web AR experience in the real life at the real locations. So this is exciting, and please stay tuned, and we're gonna make an announcement maybe very quickly for the public beta, and it's gonna be available for everybody who are using the ACE4 soon. And this is the last technology I just want to highlight. This is also like some of you might know about it. That now like a iPhone has a LiDAR. So iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 13 Pro has a LiDAR sensor on the devices. And using the LiDAR sensor, the app's called like a Scannibus. This is also coming from a Niantic. We can capture the real world and make a 3D virtual object very, very quickly. So here you are seeing a very rough example I actually, take with Scannibus a couple of weeks ago in my neighborhood. Just using that only with your iPhone, then you can capture the 3D geometry, and using the objects in your or Unity, because you can export a lot of the format you need: FBX, OBJ, a point cloud. So it's still not the part of the Lightship, but I believe this technology is also very useful and helpful to build the real world metaverse or real world AR experience. So again, like in conclusion, like besides on top of the game title we are releasing, we're using the technology by ourselves and make it open, available to the developers. And now we have a Lightship for Unity developer. We have an ACE4 for the web AR developers. And the Lightship BPS is more like an infrastructure that all the developer can leverage and use it. And the Scannibus is independent apps available on the iOS right now, but you can use it for fun or create the 3D object in the real life. So this is pretty much from me. And I just maybe should say in the beginning, I have a very, I'm not a non-native English speaker. So if you have questions, any trouble understanding my presentation, please just contact me, and I'm happy to chat with the developer in Singapore. Thank you so much, and I'm gonna pass back to MC now.
Thank you so much, Junji, for your sharing. Yeah, we can absolutely understand you. But of course, if you are right here listening and you do have any questions, please feel free to type into the Q&A box, and we're happy to answer them. It's really an honor to have Junji right here to answer your questions. So let's take a look. Do we have, okay, we have a question for you, Junji. Able to share with us which industry is actually suitable to use such AR/VR to enhance their businesses? So I believe in our participants, there are people from all different type of business. So maybe you'd like to share with us?
Okay, for the business. Yep, right now like a Lightship has been used more like entertainment, tourists, or like a gaming developers, because for the Unity has been there for the market, and it has been used for those game developer. And with ARDK, it can create very easily the AR experience. So I would say it's just being used those existing market, but I hope to see more new, users or domain using it. And the ASWOR on the other side, it has been used more like a commercial, like a brands promotions a lot. So not sure about in Singapore, but if you come to Japan and lots of the, like brands or cosmetic or even like a drink bottle, you can use like a product promotion with AR, with ASWOR.
Right. I mean, it sounds more like any that is B2C kind of business will actually be suitable since, with creating such experience, is actually the user on our user end is really exciting. A lot of dreams come true. It's like, out of the box, a lot of very interesting way to interact with with the consumers, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So this is still, early days of the, making the futures together. So AR is going to improve lots more, especially when the AR glass is coming. I hope like next year or 2 years later.
Yeah,
So it's
indeed.
gonna
The
change the
technology
game.
really advances so fast. Amazing. All right, we have a question from Wei Ping asking, will Scanivus eventually be available to Android users?
That's something big, discussion in Japan, not back in the headquarters in the US but we focus on the iPhone because we are using a LiDAR technology, and the LiDAR is technically available in the iPhone right now. But the good news I want to share here, it's still like an iPhone, but in the next couple weeks or we're going to release new Scanibus, which is supporting non-LiDAR devices, but still on the iOS. But with that technology, might be available to the Android sometime later.
All right, so there's still some little hope on that. We look forward to more good news on that. All right, so any other questions from our audience? Please don't be shy. Feel free to ask. All right. But of course, later on after Junji presentation, and then you do have some questions that comes out, please feel free to type in as well. We'll try to attend to them. Okay, we have another question from Gopala. Can this technology be used in higher education and medical fields?
Good question. Yeah, especially, for the higher education for academic purpose or educating purpose, yes. And I see some university is using the AR and the VR technology, not just for the academic purpose, more like, give you some subject, but with the help with AR. But for the medical field, being honest, I don't really know about the case, at least with our technology. But I know there's a AR or VR technology in the medical. So I like to see if there's an opportunity for us too.
Right. It's usually the idea behind, right? I mean, it can be for all clients, but it's what is the concept that you would like to execute.
Yes.
All right. We do have question from Kam Yu. Does any of your tool allow the superimposing of a 3D drawn engineering object into a real world scene to test for installation fitness? A little technical question.
Yeah, I think it's very creative one. Yeah, again, like we now like at the very, very early age of the tools, it just before the 1 year anniversary. But yeah, we are excited to see, those new cool ideas, something like we can come up with internally at Niantic. But yes, like maybe, like for the fitness purpose, like and the 3D draw engineering object. Yep. That might be a, option. Sorry, I can't answer very honestly, but
yes,
again,
there's
like
always
we are
possibility,
now like
right? With
open the
technology.
platform and love to share.
Okay. Right. What is the learning curve for eighth wall? Is it easy to learn? Any coding knowledge needed?
Yes. Compared to Unity, like a ASWOR needs more like a JavaScript or technology or background. It's nice to have, but also like if you go to an ASWOR website, there's so many samples you can using from it. So you can just make a clones from an existing sample and then
Mm.
starting from the sample,
Mm.
which, reduce your coding effort a lot. So I know that people who just new to JavaScript, but still like making a simple web AR with ASO. So it requires some knowledge and the skill, but still like it's not the difficult, I would say.
Right. Give it a try, Olivia. Give it a try. All right. Are there any open source SDKs available to developers to develop on these platforms?
Like now, it's not really open SDK, but as for the like occlusion and the meshing technology, we have a R&D team in London, and they actually makes the paper available in the public. So the Scaniverse is not the Scaniverse, but in the ARDK, there's a real-time mapping technology that has been in the academic field too. So you can take advantage by reading the those academic paper from Niantic team.
Oh, all right. There will be some advantage indeed. All right. Thank you very much, Junji, for answering these questions. We actually do have a lot more questions coming in, but because of the time, we would like to also take note of these questions, and we will be answering them through the format of email after the event. So we will be taking note of your questions. And thank you so much once again, Junji,
Thank you so
for your
much.
insightful sharing.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you so much. I will see you very soon as well. While you take a back seat, because coming up next, as we can see, we have Wayne Lee, co-founder, Chief Creative and Technology of Revas Motion.
Hi.
Here you go. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Wayne. So Wayne is the co-founder and chief creative and technology of Revas. He is responsible for the overall technology creation and development, creative design, and strategy that sustain growth and revenue. So he has more than 18 years experience and strong track in IT and digital interactive technology, where he takes a very hands-on approach to ensure successful implementation for all experiential activation using his cutting-edge technology. So as an experiential creator, Wayne works closely with the creative and technical teams in bridging the gap between creative and innovative technology, also including human factor and user experience in producing great digital experiences, and of course, strategies which is used to execute many projects. Wayne is also responsible for strategic business planning and is actively involved in the R&D arena of the business. In this course of his experience, he has spearheaded various groundbreaking projects, product developments in the technology market. So without further ado, so much to share about Wayne, and I'm sure he has got a lot more to share. So let us now hand the time over to Wayne to share more about creating virtual platforms for immersive tourism. Wayne, over to you.
Thanks. My name is Wayne. So basically, I'm the co-founder, Chief Creative Tech for Rev Motions. So basically today, my main topic, I'll be sharing more about our initiative that we work closely with NHB and also with the help of IMDA to actually came out with the 5G enabled meta tourism experience. Let me share my screen right now. Hope everybody can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so basically my name is Wayne once again. So thanks for the opportunity for IMDA Pixels to allow me to share more about what we have done recently with NHB in the meta tourism experience. So basically it is so-called using a metaverse methodology to actually bring across a virtual common ground precinct, and also it actually connects down to the on-ground, whereby we are using web AR technologies to actually did up a whole full gamification experience with redemptions. So let me share a bit more on that. Okay, so what is meta tourism? So what we are envisioning is that because of the pandemic, people don't get to travel. So but before they even want to come to the place, they will want to experience how does the place look like, how does the attraction look like. So we actually model out the whole entire Kampong precinct and actually deploy it into a web-based platform. So it allows people to browse through their laptop, their tablets, or their phone easily without having an app. So that is to create first tractions to create awareness and tractions to tourists before they actually came into Singapore. And when they came to Singapore, they actually will want to experience the physical space by itself, the culture, the food, and everything at the precinct. And that is where we add on the layer of AR experience to provide more information and some fun, some entertainments to them when they are actually, visiting the precinct itself. So what we want to achieve here mainly was to promote a deeper engagement with cultural and heritage destinations and improve the resilience of tourism industry after this pandemic period, and increase local and foreign visitations. And also, of course, we will want to also use this platform to help commercial opportunity for businesses that are actually running their shops at the precincts or food and beverages over the precincts, to gain more footfall to their area. So for this whole project, we actually use a lot of online activity, which as you can see from my screens, and actually it translates down to a mobile interface that's more on the on-site gamifications activity. So the main features that we actually came out with, of course, we do have to have account creations. We allow them to create avatars to personalize themselves that will allow them to socialize in the Meta's world. And it also have online activity whereby it is, you can have more information of the precincts. You can enjoy some little activity games, even e-commerce to link up with shops to do purchasing, and also content. Of course, in our whole gamification strategy, we allow online and on-site. So in our gamifications, if some of the activity had to be done online, and that also to bring you down to the on-site to further on with the treasure hunt and also a bingo activity to complete those games and allow you to do some redemptions. So this is roughly all the key features that we have in these projects. So I'll go into detail one by one to bring you through. So first of all, of course, you can see from my screen that we are inspired by these little cats that we work with NHB to have this cat avatar, and we allow people to choose what kind of cat personality that they want, and also they can actually add on accessory to it. That is to personalize themselves so that they can socialize within the Meta's world, and also a companion to them when they are on ground or on site. So we also have, as I mentioned, we have online activities. So because this is a place that you have lots of conservation heritage, our platform allow third-party integration with virtual walkthrough, content, and also content management system to allow a lot of content to be input into our platform, and instantaneously it will be actually showcased in the web base. So this is one of it, a virtual tour. And of course, we can curate quizzes, some information quizzes or activity that are more passive based to learn more about the precinct, things like what are the key conservation building, heritage, or even history, even things that is nice to eat. We can go using a quiz to a hands-on methodology to actually make you have a better understanding of the place. E-commerce. So basically, we allow e-commerce integration. So we wanted the shops over there to actually join the platform, to use the platform to expose themselves, even to the extent that maybe they do have their own Shopee marketplace shops or virtual shops in Amazon or anywhere, which are Shopify, if we can actually do an integration with them, and they can expose their products and things that they want to sell or promote within the platform, so that they get another channel of revenue. Some standard games or activity that also allows to have some fun and with the family, with the kids, to do some small little activity on using our mobile devices or using a laptop. So importantly, now I have to come to the gamification portions, whereby this is one of the key highlights that we do, because it does the connectivity of the omni-channel from the online to the on-site, whereby we allow them to go through a full suite of activities on ground, so that they can actually really walk through the space, appreciate the heritage, appreciate the culture and the space itself. So we actually craft out the bingo card and the treasure hunt method to actually plot out some of the key important places in Kampong Glam itself, to create experience on top of it using web AR. So these are some of the web AR activation elements that we do. So basically we have artifacts, we can scan on artifacts, retail shop fronts, architecture, building, posters, signages, or even, in Kampong Glam, we have a lot of mural painting. There also can be part of the activations marker to be used to create experiences. And with that, we actually can launch content that are in 2D, 3D animations, video playback, even a voiceover, illustration with clickable hotspot, text with images, games, quizzes, all can be done using this web AR activation platform. And what we will want to do also to elevate the game mechanism a bit more to create a fun is to create an AR treasure hunt, whereby they have to go to very specific places using our wayfinding and through the web AR, and also go to the destination area and scan and get those gems and actually complete the whole treasure hunt itself. Last but not least, when they are completing certain level of the bingo card, we allow them to do redemptions and rewards coins that actually allows them to redeem Grab vouchers previously, and also some of them we can actually get merchants in to give their promo codes, discount voucher to be allowed them to redeem through this redemption system. And we also have APIs suites that actually can connect to other redemption platforms that the user may want to use. Okay, so let's enjoy a short video to sum up what I have mentioned through a video which is more. Okay, so basically that sums up the whole meta tourism experience that we are creating pilot trial together with NHB. It's fully web-based, and we are actually moving into the 5G era, whereby we also have successfully trialed this with AIS in Bangkok during their 5G summit. Basically, we import the whole entire platform into their 5G MEC and build up contents to actually showcase that our platform is already successfully able to run on a 5G MEC and to load up with higher fidelity kind of content and with a much lower latency to allow a much wider content or heavier content to be actually on board to the platform. So this platform is basically web-based. And why we are doing it in a web-based, because most of the time it allows us to scale up and faster, and also the reduction of download rates of apps. Okay, and upcoming, we are also trying to work on the Chinatown meta tourism experience to create trails, AR gamification, and also the similar kind of platform that we did for Kampong Glam that allow us to scale up much faster with when opportunity comes. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wayne, for sharing. Wow, the people behind, the team behind this Kampong Glam. It looks so fun indeed. And we are really looking forward to have, all over Singapore, we're going to have all these experiences. It's going to be really fun for the family, for people of all ages, I believe so. So while you're doing the presentation, we do have a few questions coming in. We have from Syed Ali asking, can we have our own face instead of the avatar? Possible?
Okay, so we are actually now able to integrate with Player Ready Me, and we are still looking at your own face. That's possible because we are building it in 3D. So sometimes people find it a bit more fake, or is that requires some deep fake and PDPA methods, but I would say that it's possible, but it's more sociable if you have a real face. But at this moment of time, I would say that there's some hurdle point that we need to take into considerations, but technically it's possible.
Indeed. If one day I have my face instead of the avatar, please make sure you can make me prettier. Then I'll be happy.
Yeah. So a lot of people are using the Player Ready Me to actually create their own virtual avatar, which is quite realistic already in certain sense, because you can actually add in your own characteristic into the avatar itself. And in our Bangkok trial in AIS, we actually not using a cat. Actually, in the video it shows that we are actually starting to use avatar to actually walk within the space. So I mean, just a short glimpse at just now in one of my slides. So we are actually evolving very quickly and trying to expand it quickly so that this platform can stabilize to a certain level, which is good enough to scale up in the next 6 to 12 months.
Indeed. Thank you so much for your sharing. Also from Joanne, she asked, how is your platform different from Metapod, or is Metapod integrated in your platform?
Okay, so Metapod is mainly a virtual tour kind of photo stitch up experience, whereby you can't actually insert avatar and walk through the space, but we do able to integrate together with them, just like one of the examples shown just now in my slide, that we do allow integrations with third-party kind of virtual walkthrough because we are a web-based system, but we want to create a more immersive experience with AR experience, because ultimately what we are heading towards to is the web AR, running it much stronger and make it have a better use case in not just in the tourism. We are actually wanted it to go, of course, in the branding, in the marketing, or in the entertainment is already commonly adopted. But what could we do further, maybe on educations, or maybe more on commercial kind of executions? Yeah.
Right, indeed. Okay, thank you. We hope we answered Joanne. All right, next from Wee Ping, does your company create the AR 3D assets on your own?
Yes, we do. So basically, the whole Kampong Glam precinct was actually done from scratch by us with just
Wow.
the Google map help of their 3D, and we actually do out the full rendering. So for this rendering, what we had done was a much lower polygon because it was used with a normal 4G environment. So we can't go with a very high fidelity kind of experience. But in the 5G aspect, we definitely can ramp it up much higher as after we are doing our testing and trial recently.
Wow, that is very, very impressive from scratch.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Also a general reminder for those asking the questions, please type into the Q&A box. I think some questions might have gone into the chat box instead. So it's over at the Q&A. All right. We have one more question right in here by Olivia. So what platform do you use to create the web? Oh, have you already mentioned this WebAR experiences? The platform.
Oh yeah, so basically this
Web
web
AR experiences.
platform is done in-house and all is purely in web-based. So we are actually still evolving in terms of improving the engine so that it can actually works better. So even now we just launched our little small initiative campaign whereby we are actually trying to use a web base to create like Facebook filter games, but without going through Instagram or Facebook ad, but more like a web-based kind of Facebook filter like kind of experience, so that you can share it very, very easily in through WhatsApp, through Facebook messages. So I think that is what we want to try to do, is to make it more convenient for how AR can be actually reached to everybody easily. Yeah.
I love that idea. Really looking forward to, every other day, even the elderlies can even manage such AR experiences. It will be really fun. And like you say, we don't have to depend on another platform, another party like Instagram, Facebook, and we can already use such AR. Looking forward to that. I'm really sure it's going to be happening real soon.
Yeah. Correct.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. We will take that as a last question for today. Of course, if you do have more questions for Wayne, please feel free to type into Q&A. As promised, we will be answering them in the form of email. So thank you again, Wayne. You can take
Thank
a
you.
back seat right
Thank
now.
you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up, the sharing will be by Kay, founder of Mesh Minds. Kay is the founder of Mesh Minds Foundation and its creative technology studio partner with the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP. Mesh Minds brings together the best minds in the art, technology, real, and virtual worlds to form partnerships and collaborations to tackle the world's toughest social, environmental, and educational challenges. The Mesh Minds Foundation community of impact artists, technologists, and sustainability advocates build experiences that focus on maximizing action towards securing an inclusive, accessible, and sustainable future for all generations. So in 2021, Kay spearheaded the team that launched 100 Days to #Beat Plastic Pollution in partnership with UNEP. The campaign focused on using interactive AR experiences to encourage people to form new habits to avoid using single-use plastic, and told the stories of young sustainability advocates from the region. This combination proved successful, and the campaign reached, more than 21 million unique individuals, with more than 1.2 million people playing with the AR experiences. So it also received numerous high-profile features, including the BBC, Asia Development Bank, ADB, and at the Sea of Solutions 2021 virtual conference. So without further ado, let us welcome Kay, who's going to share with us a bit more about bringing art and experiences to life with AR. Kay, over to you.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me. I am Kay Vasey, and I'm really, really glad to be here. Yes, sorry, last but not least, and I hope you're still enjoying this lovely session. So I just wanted to tell you about what we've been up to. Our key purpose is around how can we protect our culture and the environment in the digital age? So what we thought is that we can actually connect the art and technology worlds to tell stories that create change. We design programs, we educate, enable and empower creators to use technologies to help us on our mission. And we match make our community of creative technologists with responsible brands to ignite conversations. So those are kind of talks and panel discussions, create campaigns, which is like the 100 Days to Beat Plastic Pollution campaign that we were just hearing about, and building communities to tackle today's most pressing challenges facing people and our planet. And so those 5 C's, we've got our own version of the 5 C's. So this is kind of what we do. We make creative content, we create conversations, we create campaigns for people, we facilitate collaborations through our programs, and we build communities. And we are all about metaverse experiences. We've been around for 5 years, and we're now thinking, where do we go for the next 5 years? So super exciting. Basically over the last 5 years, we've done lots of amazing things, and we've partnered with the UN, we've worked with Meta, Apple, all sorts of amazing brands like Net-a-Porter as well, and some big banks. We've reached 25 million people, which is quite, you know, I still kind of rub my eyes and think about how that was even possible. Even alone, you know, in that Beat Plastic Pollution experience, we had 1.2 million people play our games across Southeast Asia, which was fantastic. We've built experiences that have been used by UN Goodwill ambassadors, and those are our influencers in sharing these important messages with youth and communities online. And we've worked with over 150 different artists who've themselves created over 200 interactive experiences. So it's been a really, really amazing ride, and I can't wait for the next 5 years as well. I want to tell you about 4 different projects today. First one is Art Reimagined for Meta. So we have a little video. I'm not sure if it's going to play with the right sound. I hope that you can hear this. But if you can't, then I can also tell you about it.
ARVR Imagine Taiwan 这个计划呢是邀请3位台湾的在地艺术家，包含了剪纸艺术家吴耿真、艺术家姚瑞忠以及原住民创作歌手阿豹。这次的展览，我们透过 AR 技术，将3件台湾在地传统艺术作品的意涵，用新的方法呈现，推广到不同的观众族群。
神话符号树和失踪的动物们是我10年前创作的剪纸作品。我想让体验者透过 AR 的体验的过程里面去感受到纸的纤维感，他可以想到他小时候剪一张色纸的感觉，或者是他可以想到我们传统的文化里面红色的剪纸带给他的一种印象。
平常一般人很少机会可以接触到原住民的传统服饰，所以我这次跟来自台东的艺术家了2丹巴瓦瓦龙，他从我的音乐里面发展出来了传统又结合现代的新娘的嫁衣。在这个作品里面，你可以感受到传统以及现代科技，不管在听觉、视觉，在 AR 扩增实境里面扩增你的想象力。
周休8日读其实它是来自于古代文人的一个户外休闲活动，在说艺术家的这种生活方式，台湾人的休闲场景，它是一个横轴，所以它是可以360度这样子拿着相机这样子转，镜头中的人物直接的砍入到画面里面，等于说让大家去参与文人的日常生活。
在未来，透过 AR 扩增实境技术，欣赏到不易保存、不易搬运的艺术作品变得可能。当观众来到展场的时候，可以体会到原作作品的精髓，同时也可以感受到艺术和科技碰撞的无限可能性。
Next up, no. How do I go down? Oh, there we go. Sorry. So yes, so that was Art Reimagined Taiwan, and we're really hopeful after showing it already also in Korea in the same kind of program. We're hoping that maybe it might come to Singapore one day as well. So stay tuned for that. this kind of project is all around keeping traditional arts alive and relevant for youth and communities online. We don't want these cultures to be lost as we kind of enter into this crazy new world, and everyone's talking about digital art and digital art's the future. Yeah, but don't forget the traditional art. This is where we find an enormous amount of inspiration, where the history of art has come from. So we work with these traditional artists. We create face effects, world effects, and a VR experience that really enables you to kind of feel these experiences. They bring them much closer to the senses by being able to kind of, for example, as you can still see, Abao, the Taiwanese musician, sharing with us the traditional wedding attire that they wear. And then she sung the wedding song. And then she's able to perform for you wherever you are. Where do you want, whether you want her to perform a tiny little Abao on your living room floor or on your table, or you want her to be giant, as large as your house and performing, you know, so you can really play with it and make it an experience that you can share with your friends and then share with your network online as well. We're really pleased to have been able to showcase it to the public as well in Taiwan, even though we were not able, sadly, to be there. And over 300,000 people to date have seen this, and 37,000 people have actually played with it themselves. So really, really powerful in terms of how we harness these AR and VR technologies to breathe new life into our culture and keep them alive for future generations. Up next, Art Trail in Transit, a little different tack for Singapore Art Week. And I'm just going to play this little video so you can find out more about it. And so that was Art Trail in Transit. So this was really a project about trying to get people to pause and slow down as they're kind of like hurrying on their way. Perhaps they're on their way to work or to meet a friend, but actually to stop and notice and look again at the public artworks that are in our realm. They've actually all been commissioned for the really amazing purpose in mind. So Art Trail in Transit, so Art in Transit is by the LTA. And what they did was they commissioned artists to actually say, well, let's tell some stories about what people see above ground. So inside the stations and below ground, are we able to kind of excite people before they get to the above ground and tell them a little bit about the area? So for example, in Little India, you see the geometric patterns that are often found in saris. And so we took that and that's from one of the sculptures down in Little India. And we're then able to kind of make people play with it themselves as the face effect and make the whole thing come to life. It's been really, really well received, and we really look forward to potentially one day being able to make all of the artworks on the MRT stations come to life. Third is going to be the Shockscape for Uniqlo. So Uniqlo wanted to celebrate hawker culture for National Day last year, and they commissioned an amazing set of artists, Eight-Eyed Spud, to create an awesome mural, and then we made that come to life, and we made it even better because we created little interactive quizzes inside that mural as well. Let's take a little look. So this is where you have this one. So as you can see, super fun and playful. we reached 3,500 people just in its first week, 13% capture rate, and 16% sharing. That is really, really high. It generally a 1 to 5% sharing rate on Instagram is considered good, right? So clearly, with this enormous mural inside the store, people have really stopped it again and like, oh wow, what is that? Oh wow, it can come to life. Oh my goodness, it can teach me more about hawker culture. Imagine, if every mural you could see around the world could actually talk to you. What would it say? If the Mona Lisa could come to life, what would she say? These are the types of things that we think about at Mesh Minds all day long. Like, how can we make that picture come to life and actually bring across the hidden narrative through using audio and moving image to really inject new life into that static image? Okay, I have put some of the QR codes in here, so this will be made available after the session, so you can have a play yourself as well. It was actually in store for a whole year, but sadly now has gone away. I'm going to take you for the last one, for the AR mural for NAC. So this is one we've literally just finished. Another one we'll be really, really honoured by the National Arts Council to make the Waterloo Link wall come to life, which is a super iconic wall down in the arts precinct, and you can kind of see it over here, where all cool comes to life. So that's just a quick one. Again, 3,500 people reached within a first week, and really, really high capture rates and good sharing rates. So you can really tell that people are delighted by this kind of experience, rather than just kind of wandering past on a normal kind of art tour, for example. We're like, yes, this is the wall done by Rascals in collaboration with Alex Face from Thailand, etc. Being able to invite people to say, hang on a minute, take out your smartphone, look again at this wall, it's going to come to life, and maybe tell you something more about this wonderful wall, okay? Because also there was an interactive audio as well as part of the tour. So you can hear like a bit of perhaps, why was the wall there, and how have we made it come to life? So really think about any kind of surface, any kind of artwork, anywhere on any wall can come to life, right? And there is just so many opportunities inside that digital storytelling layer. Key takeaways, I wanted to just share some quick ones over the last 5 years. We've also obviously learned about the importance of fostering a massive appreciation for culture and heritage in the digital age. We genuinely think that, that we dream of a future where there's indigenous culture, for example, being represented in virtual fashion or in music festivals inside the metaverse. We don't want it to just be, popular culture, digital art and all that kind of stuff. We should be harking back to also history and where we have come from. It's so important. Interact with your audience. AR and VR really do offer unique opportunities to bring your audience on these interactive journeys, but please always think about that human-centered user experience. Think about how you can engage and excite people, how you're going to invite them in to participate, co-create and share that personalized message about your brand or your message. Finally, always, I'm a massive believer in growth through partnerships and collaborations. The metaverse is a space of opportunity, and the right collaborations are the keys to success. We are really genuinely believing that artists are the most important people. These people are going to be the creators and builders of the metaverse. If I, for example, don't want to appear in the metaverse as Kay, I want to appear as a butterfly or a robot. Well, who's going to create that? It's going to be the amazing 3D artists who are going to be able to enable me to design an amazing virtual avatar that's going to have a cool virtual fashion outfit on, that will then enable me to share my identity in the world, in the virtual world, in the same way as I do in the real world. As a kind of last little takeaway from me, please dream big. Our goal is to form the world's largest community of creative technologists for causes. That's our big, hairy, audacious goal, but I think that we've set our sights on it and we are very well equipped to do so. We want to be the leading educators, but we also want to always keep pushing the boundaries of creation. And we're going to be therefore enabling many more creators to use their craft for good and bring all public life in public arts to life in Singapore. Are you in? Please join us. that's all for me. I wanted to make it short and sharp so that people got enough time for question and answer. And over back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Kate, for your sharing. Amazing. It's really how you bring these arts to life, bring these, visuals to a next level kind of experience for all of us. Amazing. All right, we have questions coming in already. Let's see, from Olivia. What's your take on implementing AR in education?
So in terms of education, I think there's so much to learn, and we must not absolutely stop it. We've obviously been doing a lot with Spark AR from Meta, which is a really powerful tool that enables people to create experiences on Instagram and Facebook. But there are also other very powerful tools. Artivive is a great one in relation to teaching, for example, secondary school level kids, just to get to grips with it, drag and drop. So you put your static image on the left-hand side, you put your video on the right, and you basically just tell the camera a little piece of code that says, if you see this static image, please play this video. And that's really all that augmented reality is. So right from young people all the way through to emerging and established professionals as well. It is our dream to be able to then work perhaps with Niantic and other amazing AR platforms that just to kind of expose people and then enable people. So our ethos is really around educating, enabling, and transforming, right? So, empowering. So in the sense that you want to educate people, come to the workshop, absolutely. But then if you just stop at the workshop and you have no access to the tools, then that can be a difficulty. So then we want to enable these creators. So we need to loan you an actual hardware device. Maybe we need to give you a free software license that you may not otherwise be able to afford. So that's the kind of educational program that we will create for creators to be able to get access to tools. And then finally, even if you have been educated, you've been enabled, you've created your wonderful experience, the last thing we want you to do is have no opportunity to share that with the world. So we don't want you to put it in the drawer and for it to gather digital dust and no one to see it. So the last part of what we do is around enabling people to distribute it and share it with the world. So our programs are very much around, just thinking through how do we use these frontier technologies to engage and excite creators, to learn how to harness the power of these technologies to transform the way that they are producing art, so that will also transform the way that we are consuming their art.
Indeed. So if they are keen, definitely they will be looking to approach you, the Mesh Minds Foundation.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, from Olivia, what about VR? What's the role of VR in, let's say, culture and art appreciation, or even climate communications?
So the power of VR, I find, is really around putting people into situations where they wouldn't necessarily otherwise be able to be. So specifically when it comes to climate change, we have an amazing opportunity to, for example, create a virtual diving experience that allows people to experience at first hand, what is it when the UN says, by 2050, we are in danger of having more plastic than fish in the ocean. What does that even look like? How is it? If I was to go diving tomorrow in Bali, for example, what would I see? Perhaps I might see a completely clear ocean. But VR allows us to actually say, if you want to actually experience what it's like to actually swim or dive through a horrible plastic Gaia that has actually collected around a ghost net, for example, what does that feel like? And so VR, because you are absolutely kind of contained within that headset, it's you have an absolute captive audience. You almost can't escape. But that's also why, back in when we were starting the company in 2017, we were so bowled over by a story that we read by Greenpeace and how they had doubled donations at Glastonbury Music Festival, because they're there every single year. So year on year, they were like, wow, mind blown. we doubled our donations simply by putting a 360 VR experience in the Google Cardboard. So really, really rudimentary, right? Of transporting people to the heart of the Amazon rainforest so that you could hear the loggers, you could see the enormity of the trees and really understand the problem of illegal deforestation at first hand. Now, I'm not able to do that. I can't just get on a plane and be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go and have a wander through the Amazon rainforest and meet some illegal loggers and tell them that they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. But taking people away into that virtual reality experience can be incredibly powerful. And the fact that they doubled their donations clearly means that there is a huge shift in the effect of that on human behavior of that virtual reality experience. Similarly with art, it means that you can bring that art closer to you. And perhaps you're able to kind of step inside a painting, for example. You can't do that inside a museum. It's all around, all the museums are very formal places and you have to stand behind the barrier and don't touch anything and all that. But virtual reality, because we're able to make that digital twin of this art piece, you can pick it up, you can examine it, you can make it huge, you can make it small, maybe that little art piece is going to talk to you. There's so many other ways that you can interact with this digital twin that make that story and experience so much richer.
Indeed, wonderful. Maybe next time we can add some more senses like the smell and the touch.
Exactly.
Wow, I'm sure with the VR, it's very real and happening, and people can experience that without it happening. Like you say, we kind of time travel to 2025 to see what's going to happen, so people feel the impact, and you can make a difference like that, where you actually influence them and affect how they actually think and feel about what they can do to protect the environment. Right. Thank you so much for your sharing. We are all very, very impressed of your works. Thank you so much again, Kay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and of course, we are really very impressed with all our speakers today. We have Kay bringing art to a next level, bring it to life. We also have Wayne, sharing with us how tourism can be of great experience, bring it to the next level. And of course, not forgetting Junji from Niantic. Wow, the company behind Pokemon Go, bringing games to another new level. We are really very honored to have all our speakers joining us today. And next, we are going to invite from IMDA, Jenny Slim. She's going to share with us more on IMDA innovation and how IMDA can be part of your corporate journey. Jenny, please come on to join us.
Thanks, Paige.
Hi, all right. I shall
Hi.
have the time over to you.
Okay, are you able to see my screen? Just a quick check.
Yes.
Okay, good,
Cool.
awesome. So I think we've heard from a lot of inspiring speakers today. So just let me have the last 5 minutes to quickly share with everyone more about our team, what we do here. Today's session is actually brought to you by the IMDA innovation team. And for those of you who are unaware, we actually run a 2-story corporate innovation space at One North. And our goal is really to bring together corporates, bring together the technology startups working on really innovative areas. And one of them naturally being ARVR, which you have heard a lot about today. So besides ARVR, we also focus on nascent tech areas like AI, data, IoT, robotics. And the idea of our space really is to bring together startups who require some of the facilities or equipment that they need in the early phase of their growth to help them to build better customer-centric products through our consultants' capabilities in UI, UX, design thinking. And last but not least, we also try to bring everyone together to have conversations and to know about what's up and coming in the technology space. So events like today is something that we really run on a frequent basis. So in addition to some of the tech sharing events like today, we actually do run also a lot of workshops in various areas: UI, UX, design thinking, digital storytelling, and this is on a monthly basis. So do sign up to our mailing list if you'd like to find out more about these areas that we look at. Over the years that we have been around, we have built up quite a sizable community of companies, especially in the AR/VR area as well. So encourage everyone who wants to, have a conversation or maybe even a chat on some of the AR/VR projects that you have in mind, do come to us and we can connect you to some of the local startups that we have in our space. And besides the events like we have going on today, the physical space itself, we actually host a lot of technical workshops, large-scale pitching events and industry events. So I just wanted to invite everyone to keep posted on our happenings through our mailing list. We will share the link again later. And besides operating a physical space, we also have something called the Open Innovation Platform. So to put it very simply, this is a crowdsourcing platform where if you have a problem in mind and you don't know where to look to solve it, come to us with a problem. We have about 11,000, I think, in fact, today, probably closer to 12,000 technology solution providers that are able to come up with innovative solutions to your problems. And in the past years, we have facilitated over 300 challenges, in fact, and the challenges actually come from various industries. So it could be from financial services, food, healthcare. So we are industry agnostic in that way. So do check out our website to find out more about this open innovation platform. And last but not least, given that today's session really focuses on the tourism and hospitality industry, our colleagues at STV has really kindly put together a lot of case studies. If you're in the attraction sector, you're in the hotel sector, in the retail sector, and you want to find out about how your compatriots in the sector have developed AR/VR use cases, do check out the website. And if you're ready to get kickstarted on an actual AR/VR project, the team at STV has also put together over 100 ready 3D assets to be used. And these are really contextualized to our local context. So think about the F1 race, think about Gardens by the Bay. These are ready assets that are available for anyone to use for free. So do scan the QR code to find out more. And I think that's the last thing that I have to share for today. Back over to you, Paige.
Hi, thank you once again, Janice, and thank you to IMDA for organizing this webinar. And of course, with all the support, tremendous support from IMDA to make lots of possibility become, a dream come true. All right, and once again, thank you to all our speakers once again, Junji, Wayne, and Kay for sharing your experiences with our audience today. Would you like to come on screen and say thank you to all of us? Lovely to see all our speakers. Thank you so much for your precious time and your sharing as well. And for those, if you'd like to find out more about the various upcoming programs that IMDA has lined up, do scan the QR code that you can see on the screen. Oh, okay, we have the feedback on the screen. So please scan the QR code first for your feedback, because we would really love to hear your feedback. And of course, to tell us how's your experience today in this webinar, so that we can, of course, bring you more webinar and do better each time as well. So please scan onto the screen. We truly appreciate all of your feedback. So give you some time to scan the QR code. It's going to be a short survey, we promise. All right, especially for those using your laptop to view this webinar, please grab your phone and scan this QR code. Thank you so much. All right, as Jenny's mentioned as well, if you'd like to, be informed about our upcoming programs, we can be more of such webinar and perhaps even physical events as well. So please also join us in our mailing list, and also feel free to visit IMDA website as well as LinkedIn for more updates. All right, that's right. This is the QR code that you can scan to find out more and join in our mailing list. And of course, do keep a lookout into your email, because we will be sharing with you the slides from our speakers and also answering those questions that we are unable to answer them earlier on during the Q&A segment. But thank you so much for all of your questions and also your precious time to spend with us on this Thursday afternoon. I hope this is a very fruitful session for each and every one of you. So we will be ending the session for today. Thank you so much once again to all our speakers and each and every one of you. I am Paige. It's a pleasure to be your host for this webinar, and I hope to see you soon next time. Thank you. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.